good. All right. We just picked up the Kubota. The old heavy Chevy's pulling along just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get home, and then we'll get this sucker unloaded. That's me, Everett. Everett's in debt now.
My bills are all due, and the babies need shoes, but I'm busted. Cotton is down to $1/4 a pound, and I'm busted. I got a cow that's gone dry, and a hen that won't lay. A big stack of bills that get bigger each day. The county's gonna haul my belongings away, 'cause I'm busted. I called on my brother to ask for a loan, 'cause I was busted. Lord, I hate to beg like a dog for a bone, but I'm busted. My brother said there ain't a thing I can do. My wife and my kids are all down with the flu. And I was just thinking about calling on you, 'cause I'm busted. But a man can go wrong when he's busted. The food that we canned last summer is gone, we're busted. The fields are all bare and the cotton won't grow. Me and my family's gotta pack up and go. But I'll make a living just where I don't know, 'cause I'm busted. I'm broke.
Let's jump right into it and talk about the title. Yes, I expanded my hay business. Those of you who have been around on the channel for a little while know I have been making hay for a few years now with this thing, the John Deere 4105. I actually inherited it from my grandmother when I was about 12, and I could not have done any of what we're about to talk about without it, so I want to thank her for that. It's only got 32 PTO horsepower, but it was enough to get me started with a drum mower, a bar rake, and a square baler I collected over the past few years. What I didn't own, I would hire out or borrow, such as my neighbor who mowed and round baled for me a few times. His dad also let me borrow his tedder all these years. I've been making hay to sell and to also feed to my small herd of stocker cattle, but I've always wanted to try and expand on the hay sales side of things and even get into a little bit of horse hay. So I saw an ad on Craigslist back in March of this year for a 30-acre hay lease, so I decided to look into it. There were a lot of fescue fields mixed with some orchard grass and even a little bit of timothy here and there. And there was some really nice bottom ground that even had some straight orchard grass planted as well. So I negotiated with the landowner and got a $30 per acre lease, including a deal where he would pay for lime and herbicide through this lease we drew up. So after that, we took some soil samples and got the co-op to come out and fertilize and apply herbicide. And just like that, I had added 30 acres of hay ground to my lineup. The only problem was the equipment situation. I was not prepared to square bale 30 acres plus all the other land I had with one little John Deere 2-speed hydrostatic and a 60-year-old square baler. So I did what every 18-year-old dreams of doing. I went and took out a loan. Now, I was primary borrower on the loan, but I had to have my mom co-sign for me, as most banks aren't stupid enough to trust me with that much responsibility. I can't imagine why though, but
Everett thinks he's gonna beat the Tahoe. Oh! Your truck's gonna blow up pretty soon.
what the heck? I didn't realize that's what you meant was dragging. We kind of didn't put pins in this thing.
I just work here, man. I don't own the equipment.
I don't know. They don't do that for some reason. So once we had the money secured, it was time to find a tractor and some other equipment. The first thing I actually bought, believe it or not, was a different hay rake. This old Ford 513 bar rake was actually the first piece of hay equipment I ever bought, but the design makes it either miss a lot of hay or break a lot of tines. So I upgraded to a slightly newer rake, which is still like 70 years old, but we're moving up in the world. It has a slanted axle instead of a straight one, and it has metal tines instead of rubber, so it is much more efficient than the old rake. We will be selling the Ford at some point in the future, but I actually bought the New Holland for less money than the Ford, so that'll actually work out really well. The second thing I wanted to buy was a round baler. I've been paying my neighbor Leroy to custom bale for me for a few years now if I had something that I didn't want to square bale, but I needed to have my own for this year, so I went and bought a little 4x4 New Holland 634 baler. It's very clean, and it was bought from a liquidation sale up in New Jersey and brought down here to a used equipment dealer, and that's where I bought it. It doesn't have hardly any bells and whistles. It is electric tie, but unfortunately it does not have a monitor. I do have plans of upgrading to a 4x5 in the future, but this will serve our needs for now. I'm already getting ahead of myself. So the 4105 would be way too small to pull even a 4x4 round baler. So I bought this. A Kubota M9540. And no, I did not plan on getting a cab, but when first cutting was approaching at the speed of light, I decided to bite the bullet and buy one, and it only cost me a few kidneys. This has 95 horsepower at the engine and 84 horsepower at the PTO. It has an L1353 front loader, a 12-speed transmission with hydraulic clutch and power shuttle reverser, 2 rear hydraulic remotes, and a little over 3,000 hours on it. It only came with a bucket, so we bought a new hay spear and a set of pallet forks to go with it. That's about as far as I'm going to go on specs for this at the moment, but we will show some footage of me driving it, and we will be doing a fully dedicated video on it very soon. So make sure to stick around for that. And before all my John Deere homies chime in, yes, I still love John Deere, and no, I'm not a sellout for buying a Japanese-made tractor. A lot of John Deere's compacts are actually rebranded Yanmars, so unfortunately, even some of their stuff isn't American-made. The main reason I bought a Kubota is they're bulletproof, like John Deere, but you don't pay a premium for that green paint. The other reason is that next to John Deere, Kubota is the closest tractor dealer to us, so if I needed an emergency part or something, it'd be a lot easier to go up to Kubota than drive 2 or 3 hours to a New Holland or Case dealership.
That's not my tractor.
He's mad. And the fourth and final major piece of equipment we bought was a Big Tex 14GN gooseneck. We had a little 20-foot Hudson bumper pull, which we will definitely be keeping around, but I needed something bigger to haul the Kubota and more hay. This is the only thing we bought new other than the pallet forks and hay spear. I kind of had a hard time finding these trailers used in good condition, and when I did, they were pretty expensive anyways, so I just decided to buy a new one and get the warranty. And, of course, the other thing we did buy was a B&W turnover gooseneck ball, and we installed that in the K2500 so we could pull this new trailer. I think we've had quite a few people join the channel from the video that I did on the K2500, so for those people, rejoice. We have a lot of 454 towing videos coming up. I just want to say how grateful I am to all the people who have helped me get this business off the ground. My neighbors Leroy and Mr. Thomas, Ben, of course, and Mom especially. They've all offered a lot of advice and endless help, so I'm not being polite when I say I could not have gotten to this point without them. I genuinely could not have gotten to this point without them. I'd also like to thank my lease owner for helping me get this whole thing set up. Also, Hayden and a lot of my other peers have been helping me all summer with hay, and you will get to see all the generosity they've displayed in our upcoming videos. But I do want to thank them in this video as well. Most of all, I want to thank God. He has been so good to me over the last couple years, and this year especially. I never thought I'd be this far along at 18, but His blessings have just been so abundant, and that is the #1 reason I'm where I'm at. The only reason I'm where I'm at. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching this far along into the video. Like I said, we will have a dedicated video for the Kubota coming out soon, kind of a walk around / introduction to it, go over some specs and features on it. We'll have more videos talking about the hay business and the business side of things on that, and we'll have some straight up hay making videos coming for you guys. A lot of them. A lot. So look forward to it, because things are fixing to get real good on Two Farm Boys. But that is pretty much it for me this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.